John, obviously a big challenge for the scrum coming up.
Yeah, I guess Irish are well known for their scrummaging. Obviously, a lot of combinations there in their front row. The bulk of them being at Leicester. So there's obviously challenges there. What we've had already is a good week together, and then we're just going to tighten the screws there for this weekend.
You look at the Irish scrum, there was mixed performances during the Six Nations, particularly Italy had some success against them. Do you look at the patterns and what they threw at them scrum and set piece wise to potentially take a few lessons out of?
You've got to take some lessons out of every game that they play. Obviously, what we are focusing with is the personnel that we've got in our group, and then the competition that we're coming from. So the Italians pose a different threat in scrums. We obviously chase our connections through being square, where the Italians like to challenge you both angles and square. So yeah, we've got a lot of work to do, but we're ready for the challenge and excited for it.
On the personnel, you've got two props coming back from European stints in Angus Bell and Tony too, but can you already sense the learnings and growth that they've had just being experienced in having that experience in those different conditions?
Yeah, I think that there's a big advantage to playing over in Europe. You've seen a lot of development through some of the guys, especially in the Type 5, go over and really flourish in their careers in the set piece areas. So looking to lean on Nella's experience over the last 10 years of his super, but also his last year with racing, same as Belly.
He played off the bench mainly for racing, didn't he, Daniela? Is that sort of a role you think he'll continue in terms of, like, he hasn't played 80 for most of the season?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. The top 14 competition is quite unique. Usually what they will have is their best scrummaging players on the bench, obviously to finish games with dominant pictures, and then, that's the difference between winning and losing in top 14.
It's been a kind of an endless debate with Taniela. Is he better to start or is he better to finish? And he's done both well. Do you come into the role with any particular idea in your head about where you like him?
Obviously the game, there's different areas of the game that you sort of have to look at as well. Obviously scrummaging for his position is a big one, but then also what he offers around the field with the ball in hand. We saw last year against the English team where he can really put some good shots on in defence too. So we've got Alan as well as Nell in that position, and it's just about finding the balance around what teams are playing and who fits best to start or come off the bench.
Hey John, just a clarification, because I've heard your name pronounced a couple of different ways over the years. How do you pronounce your surname?
Ulugia.
Okay, thank you. You obviously came on under Chrono. What sort of identity do you want the Wallaby scrum to have under your leadership?
That's sort of an interesting topic. Like I think with the pack that we've got, we sort of spread the ownership around the leadership of players that we've got, the leaders that we've got in the Australian team, but also the guys that are coming through, like the Shores, who's first time in the group, and how he's seen the group from outside, and how he wants to be seen as a group in general. So it's going to be driven around what the players decide there in how they want to be known. But in terms of my role is just about facilitating and helping them come through from Super Rugby into international.
What about you, Ryan? This time last year, you get to make your debut. Coming into a second year with the Wallabies, do you feel like you're in a different place as far as coming into this environment? And, now Jake's obviously not here, so you're probably slotted in for a role there. So do you feel like you're more comfortable, more settled?
Yeah, I'd say more comfortable. I've spent a lot of time sort of in around this group anyway, so I still was pretty comfortable last year, but then obviously didn't have any experience at all. So yeah, coming back in this year, I got a bit more confidence, knowing that I've got a bit of time under my belt now, and so ready to go, keen to rip in.
You look at this, the potential half partners, when you look kind of forecast teams, you got your Brams teammates Declan Meredith in here. Like, as someone who's going through his first Wallabies camp, are you someone who tries to take him under his wing? Like, how does someone like him adapt to this group?
I think with the other 10s here as well, like all great fellas, you know, and they look after each other. So he has been working with Dono and Carter closely, and they're obviously in a whole lot of meetings together as well. And then, when he's got a question or we need to talk about something, we talk as well as half partners. So, it's a good group, and we look after each other. And we know Deck's under the pump when you come in as a playmaker for the first time, because you got to get yourself up to speed so that you can let other people know what they got to do in and around their role. So he's done really well so far, and he's continuing to get his head around it. And I've helped him out a few times, and the other 10s are really helping him out there.
Just on your own form, like coming from Super Season where you were very much in that race for Player of the Year, honours there. Like, where do you think the biggest progression has come in just your own game when you reflect on the last couple of months?
I would say that the consistency in my performances. I had a lot of exposure this year. You know, I played a lot of minutes, and I think through that I sort of got comfortable within my role at the Brums, and I started to see the game pretty well because I spent a lot of time out there, and I'd say that's probably the biggest thing I noticed was just how comfortable I felt out there, and it sort of seems to slow down a little bit for you when you've spent a lot of time on the pitch, and you can sort of see the pictures a little bit better than when you haven't spent a whole lot of time out there.
Imagine you study some opposition and see what halfbacks are doing around the world. What do you make of Jamieson and what he brings to the equation? Yeah,
I think he's class. I really like his passing game and his sort of ability to almost ball play as a 9. He can really control their game, and he can see space really well from the base of the ruck. So, it'd be exciting if I get to go up against him. I played him Brums v Lions, and then over in Ireland last year, and he's a class player, and he's been within the top 3 9s for a long time, I reckon, in the world. So it was special. We did a little bit of review on him this morning actually, and keen to get out there.
I'm uncertain if he's still retired, but it seemed to be quiet. In and around the camp and training. How's that been having him around, like just now in a coaching capacity, I suppose?
Yeah, really good. He's primarily sort of hanging around the 9s as well. So, his experience is class, and I think having him in and around as well, he is sort of another little pathway between sort of players and coaches as well, because he's so fresh from playing, and he really understands sort of both views now, being a coach and only being a player last year. So, special for Tatey, Kalani and myself to have him in here and giving us a bit of feedback where it's needed.
I mean, you would have played with him a lot, and you mentioned Jamieson being a bit of a ball player. Like, Whitey's game was always playing from 9, right? Is that something that you have learned from him? Are you trying to put more into your game in that way, in terms of playing around that role?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was probably more of a natural progression that happened within my game, probably more so this year. Maybe started a little bit last year, and again, I think it was like the time I spent out on the field, and then feeling pretty comfortable, and you sort of get used to seeing pictures and where some space might be, and then you can deliver the ball there. And it's experience of watching how people do it, and I think Jamison's class at it, and and then being able to go out there and sort of replicate that.
Because obviously you've got a great kicking game, and Joe has in the past liked that style. But do you see the game continuing that way this year, or do you see the game opening up a little bit more? Will there be a lot of contestables again this year, or?
I think there'll still be a lot of contestables. It's still a huge part of the game, with the rules, particularly around the escorting and that kind of thing. And that's just kind of how Test footy's played. Maybe opens up a little bit more towards the back end of games, which you sort of typically see anyway. So, I don't expect huge changes around how the game will be played. And, we want to play an exciting brand of footy, but we also know what gets results. And particularly early on, that sort of aerial battle is massive.
Confidence-wise, you must be feeling pretty good if you get the chance to start in Sydney. Is that right?
Yeah, feeling good. Again, it's a new challenge now. I've been at Brums for a long time, and I'm comfortable in that group. And now it's time to be able to deliver that here if I get the chance. So feeling really confident in my game, and if I get the chance to go out there and deliver that, it'll be exciting.
What about the goal kicking, mate? There's no clear and obvious goal kicker in that something that you would stick hand up to do, or you're practicing along?
Yeah, still practicing. We haven't spoken about it yet. Typically gets spoken about a bit later in the week, and but yeah, happy to do that. But yeah, I mean the tens were kicking as well, and so yeah, not sure. We'll see what happens.
Can you just speak of the importance of a big performance to start with, particularly after a season where there was such highs with the Allianz South Africa win, but also a spring tour which didn't finish how you wouldn't want it, really?
Yeah, we sort of lacked a bit of consistency really, and then really fell away at the end of the year. And yeah, we're very keen to get back to where we were, and like we know we can deliver really good performances, and now it's about starting well and then being able to consistently deliver them, and a sold out crowd. It's a great way to start to show what we can do, I think.
John, did you have any influence in getting Slips back at all?
No, not really. I think Slips is a champion bloke, and is somebody that, the way he was playing in Super Rugby probably showed that he's still there or thereabouts as one of the best loose heads in the competition. So I think from a coach's point of view, it's almost not his time, and hopefully he can keep continuing to develop the guys that's coming through.
And just how significant is it to have all the props back available? Slips, belly, Taniela. It's a lot of depth there, isn't it? It's probably going to be needed next month.
Yeah, I think if we look further down the track, these are World Cup brewing for next year, and the development space still needs to be on a trajectory where we need it to be by the World Cup, and with those types of players, the experience that's within the group, I think it's gonna be really, really beneficial for the forwards.
I mean, you played under Dan McKellar for all. He's announced that he's moving on from the Tars this morning. Do you suspect we'll see him back, in a high-profile coaching role?
Yeah, I hope so. I spent a lot of time with Dan. I really enjoyed. Well, first of all, he's a great bloke. Really genuine, sort of cares about the player as well as sort of the rugby player. And disappointing to see. He's had a bit of a rough run, and I owe a lot to Dan. A lot of that sort of core Brumbies group does, and we know how good he was for us, and it's disappointing to see the sort of unfortunate run that he's had. So I'm sure he'll get a gig somewhere else, and he'll be fine.